You're watching Questing Time. This is episode 15, part 3, and we rejoin the party in the somewhat damaged town of Cascadia on the elemental plane of air as they're chasing down a lead to find a way back home. They need to find a planeswalker, or at least somebody who knows how to travel around the plains enough to get to Sigil, the city of doors, where the odds are they can find a portal home. It's not a good plan, it's just the plan they have. I think the last thing that happened was Briony decided she was going to look at the ruins of the thoroughly destroyed and fireballed potion shop that they inadvertently destroyed, with the hope of finding some loot, I think, as opposed to searching for people who need help. They're not saints. And if that doesn't sound exciting enough, then don't worry. Matt Highton's character, Phillin Blanks, is going to weird out some people for no reason. Because, I mean, I don't know why, it's just what he does. Would you ask the sun why it shines, or the wind why it winds? I mean, the word I was looking for was blows. Enjoyed this episode? I'll see you at the end to ask you to like and subscribe. That's what the end bit is.
Can I check in the potion place that went green flamed if there's any leftover healing potions? Or any potions? Pardon?
Make an investigation roll, please.
Okay.
Oh, while that's happening, before Ruff's back, can I just quickly ask a question to Fart Woman?
Sure.
I can't remember her actual name. I just want to chat with you before my friends come back. I don't suppose you have any sort of booze that you can sort of keep in a container, but you get more booze than you should be able to carry. Like an endless thing. It's just my friend has got a little bit of a problem, and by a problem I mean a passion. And I just think because like we save your town and stuff, I just like to give him a little surprise later on down the way. I don't know if that's a thing or nothing. I'm sorry to bother you.
Wait, no, it's entirely fine. Your question is, do I have an impossibly valuable magical item to give you? I answer. Although I can offer you free room and board for the evening.
That would also be lovely, and maybe like a few rounds, but I wouldn't give him too many rounds because he will drink you dry.
There. At which point there's a couple of other. You can see some folks kind of like coming out of the back of the pub, and what you notice is a lot of the people in the back of the pub have got like ligature marks on them. Like a lot of people were tied up in the pub. They've variously been freed by folks.
Okay.
Brian, what was your investigation check?
14.
14. It doesn't look like any healing potions have survived intact, but you are definitely, as a group, responsible for the death of a gnome.
Oh.
Again?
There's a gnome corpse in there.
Oh no. Were there any potions that were still okay? And can I...
No, there's any potions that weren't smashed were consumed by the ball of flame.
Oh. Okay.
I'm feeling a eulogy coming on as well.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to do another funeral.
Oh, God. Paul, can did you say there are people leaving the pub?
Sorry? Yeah, there's a few people coming out of the pub. There are, amongst other folks, there's a lady, one of the ladies, another lady leaving the pub is another Air Ganassi. She's got like ice white skin, and her hair is a literal gas, just sort of like evaporating from the top of her head. There's two guys with spectacles, and an older guy, like sort of mid-40s, who also is actually like wearing an eye patch, but it's more like it's like a sash around his head. He's got relatively long tied back blonde hair, a bit of stubble, and is wearing like irritatingly goth black leather armor. And there's a few other townsfolk wandering around, a few tending to people who have been injured. There's a few people just kind of trying to put the town back together, and a couple of more pragmatic folks with a wheelbarrow putting bits of dead body into places.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also an orc coming out of the front of the grocer's, wearing it's like a 7-foot tall orc, wearing an apron. Who's done that? Hole in the back of me shop.
Yeah, there was this fiery tree that came from the sky. I don't know nothing's about it or nothing.
Can I Paul, chat to somebody while I check the people who are dead. I would like to take some of their gravy bandanas, their gang colours. I'd like to take 4 locks from them if I can.
Oh, surprisingly wise. Yeah, there's enough that you'll have to wash them because a lot of them have died bloody.
Okay.
The ones that haven't been incinerated or like just mashed into a paste somewhere. Yeah, you can get like 4 iterations of gravy colouring.
Thank you.
What are their colours, just out of curiosity?
Light blue.
I forgot that. Thank you. Okay.
Are you worried it won't go with the pantomime more?
Yeah.
You've got to coordinate there, Miss Claire.
You wanted to check in with somebody.
Yeah, I think we'll go with the bandana guy with the goth outfit.
Yeah.
Hi.
Turns to the other. Hello.
Oh wait, Paul, did I hear any of the conversation before? Do I know anything helpful that we're actually looking for? I realise.
You know nothing. You heard nothing of that conversation. You were putting out fires. You notice, as you say hi to him, his hand is very slowly creeping towards his sword.
Oh,
Like,
we are not a threat. We helped stop the threat. Sorry, I'm just collecting the gang colours in case they come in handy, and I shoved them in my pocket. We are definitely not a threat, unless you're a threat, and then we would be definitely a threat.
Okay.
We came to help / get home. And the
Right.
/ is not a sign of violence, that's an optional thing.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm the amazing
This
Claire.
conversation's very strange.
Sorry, I do that. I just kind of want to know, we're looking for a plane walker, because I haven't had that conversation, so that we can get to Sigil and then get home.
Where's home?
We don't actually know. We also need some help working that out, but it's on a different plane that's material. That's as far as we got. It has a theatre.
Oh, you're clueless.
Why
Fine.
do people... Oh, no, I didn't hear it before. Yeah. Why do you say clueless? I mean, it's fair.
Oh, sorry, I mean primes.
Yes, we're primes.
Yeah, same thing.
Oh.
Right. So, but you need help getting back to the prime material.
Yes. Our prime material. Do you know how we can know which is our prime material? That would also be helpful.
I imagine it'll look familiar.
Okay. That's a fair thing to say.
Yeah, look, meet me back at the pub later on. What's left of it. I've got to go and check on something. I'll be back in about an hour.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Flynn.
What's your name? Sorry.
Flynn.
Flynn.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm the amazing Claire. Those are my friends, the ones that are generally helping.
The amazing Claire.
Yeah.
Hang on. What do you play?
Huh? Drums. Do you play music?
Now, at this point, he holds up his left hand, and with a sort of brimstone flash, a steel violin appears. And then he draws his sword, which is a rapier with a bow worked into the back of it. I play a little.
Okay. In the pub, we are doing a gig.
I should warn you. How do I put this? I'm good, but I'm cursed. So I can't play anything joyous.
Oh. Do you know what? I reckon I can make anything sad sound joyous. Let's try it.
If you could. Okay. We'll
roll for it. Roll for it.
Like I said, I'll see you in about an hour.
Okay.
Oh.
I run over.
You get to tip a hat that he's not wearing.
I tip my horns.
Okay.
I run over to the guys. I got a gig.
That's so funny, Miss Claire, because whilst you were over there talking, I was just watching this chicken in this basket kicking out some dough. But, you know, that's something else. That's a different thing.
Rumfar is happy to pop. I was like, right, well, so, hello, the rest of you are here. I was just talking to Reverend Toastmaster, and I happy to offer you folks free room and board for today or a couple of days if you need them.
Thank
And
you.
I saw you were talking to O'Bannon.
Is that Phillin?
Yeah. What is he giving you a go of his airship, or what's going on with that?
He's got an airship. I just organised a gig.
Yeah, and that sounds great, Miss Claire. Are you playing?
Yeah, but he has an airship. Well, we could then use his airship. I mean, we'd have to ask him, but I'm already in a band with the guy, so.
Wow. Well, we just found out the name of someone who we could approach who's a planewalker. So we've also been doing some detective work of our own, yeah?
And I let my friend Squeaks, I let them just eat the Minotaur. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, I think that's really good to train him, and cool. So
I saved you a bit in case you wanted it.
I'm
About
really
10 minutes have passed, so the corpse of the Minotaur jumbled in size. Chris just goes,
oh, bless him. Thank you very much for the room and board. We'll take it.
Can I ask a quick question? I suppose you know the town and the people around?
Yep.
I just wondering, do you know anyone who can tell me what this crystal does? I found it in a tree.
oh.
It's quite
I
heavy.
tell you better get the best person to look at that would be Halcyon.
And is that the Planewalker Halcyon?
Yep.
There's not two Halcyons?
Well, there's probably more than one of them, but I'm referring to the same one.
Okay, just good to know. Thank you very much. Put that back in my pantomime horse. Been a pleasure. May I have a drink soon, please?
Oh, and can we have the right to our interaction?
Oh, yeah, that's very good.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, fine. Who cares?
Thank you.
Sure. At which point you guys are attended at the bar by an air elemental who serves you drinks. So you guys can have a short rest if you would like.
Oh, yes, please.
We'll do that.
Meanwhile, of course, Ruff is also back down here. Ruff, I should point out, you have walked into... I mean, it doesn't have a door anymore, and most of one of the walls is gone. But you are now in a pub. The interior of which is intact, and there are a variety of boozes here that you have never seen before in your life.
Ooh, happy boy. Can I...
Can I just pre-narrative this somewhat? So,
Yes.
having been flying backwards with what's the word I'm looking for? Like resolutionary gravity against a waterfall.
Yeah.
All the fires are out.
Yeah, pretty much. Between you and Claire and the townsfolk, you've extinguished all the fires.
Right.
With aplomb.
So I'm walking into this pub knowing that we beat the baddies, the fires are out.
Yeah. You are walking into the pub looking like a drowned rat.
Yeah.
In the short rest, I spent some 2 hit die pulls. I'm back up to 19 hit
Lovely.
points. And can I use the Song of Rest in a short rest, or does it have to be long for the others?
I think you can use it during a short one. I'll double check. Hang on.
I can't find it now in my actions.
No, short rest.
Short rest. So I'm going to use Song of Rest so they guys heal a bit better.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Although you're included in that. You get an extra d6 of hit points.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. You can't use it on long rests because it would be redundant, I just thought.
Oh, yeah, that's why. Makes sense.
Yes.
So, guys, if you're using any hit die, add a d6.
Okay. Oh, great. Okay, cool.
At which point, by the time you guys have... And this short rest is you guys just sat around a table having a chat. The pub has some board games. So you're playing chess. Rufus, Ruff is presumably investigating the varieties of beers. They have, amongst other things here, fizzy lifting beers.
Ooh.
Well, look,
a variety of other...
because all of this is unknown, Ruff literally walks into this pub, sees his mates sat there, having had a chat, a conversation, and everything, is soaking wet, and literally the doors of this pub fly open to the breeches of their hinges. Ruff walks.
Oh, the doors have been blown off. There's just a singed hole in the wall where the doors should have been.
So walks in through that, clocks his mate, realizes everything's basically all right, and just points at what looks to be the strongest thing they have.
As he's doing that, I turn around with a little tray and go, "Got you a little tasting platter, Mr. Up. A little bit of each of everything they had on the tasting." And then I just see him walk past me. "Okay, there, Mr. Hardcastle, a little bit of everything on the tasting platter."
Oh, thanks, Phillin.
It's all right. The brown stuff looks good. The browner stuff looks better. The less than brown stuff looks good. I don't know what the yellow one is.
Aye, bags of yellow.
Okay, then.
Okay, Briony, the yellow one is liquid sunlight.
Ooh.
It's quite pleasant. Quite dry, but it's very nice.
I tried the browner one.
There is that is it's Earth Elemental branded mead.
Ooh, very earthy.
Can I have a cranberry juice?
Yes, you can,
yeah.
Mr. Hardcastle. And a wink at Claire. It's this red one here.
I drink that because I trust my friends.
Okay, Richard, you have drunk Gehenna blood wine. What alignment are you?
Good.
Lawful
no.
good he is.
Yeah,
cool.
also good.
You are now, for the purposes of the next 3 hours, neutral.
Ooh.
As he drinks it, I go, "It's not really Mr. Cranberry Juice." Okay, he's drank it.
He's going to be a lightweight.
Whereas Rufus, you get to the bar and there's a semi-visible barman.
I mean, I'm used to being so
there is just
masculine. You think that's going to throw me off? You got another thing coming.
You just get a sense that the barman's just kind of gone and he's waiting for instruction.
Yeah, it's just instinctive pointing at a drink of a thing. It's, you know, if there's something with skulls and crossbones on it, I'm not drinking that. But if there's something with like fire and warning written on it, that's what I'm after.
Okay. You see the air elemental sort of swish around the bar a little bit, and it's very hard to keep track of. And they kind of go, and it zips through the back. A couple of seconds later, a bottle is floating towards you. The bottle is carved out of what appears to be I can't think of the right term. The bottle's carved out of a dark green stone. There is no label. And then there's like dust on it. There's a chalkboard behind the bar, and it picks up that chalk and just writes maize beer.
When it's floating is it like floating in front of me in a sort of coquettish manner?
Yeah, well, it's been held by the air elemental, but it's got literally what it has written on it. Written is on the chalkboard is maize is one word, M-A-Z-E. Beer ? And then blackthorn.
What I do is I pucker up my lips as if I was trying to kiss it.
Yeah.
But I just hold my face sort of near it, because if this is as magical a thing as an alcoholic could ever wish for, then nearly holding out your mouth and just like making towards it to kiss it will be enough for it to know what has to happen next.
Great, cool. The chalk is continuing to write, and the next words are Ravel, R-A-V-E-L, Puzzlewell, and then I presume you are attempting to drink this.
If you think there is a thought in my head other than what is going to happen when whatever this thing in this bottle is, as it hits the back of my throat, you are a mile away from knowing who I am.
At this point, the rough knight vanishes into the bottle.
Claire rushes over to the bottom. Whoa. What happened to Ruff?
The air elemental is pointing at the bottle.
Yeah, I saw him go in the bottle. Will he come out the bottle?
As far as Ruff is concerned, he is in an ocean of incredibly strong dark ale.
I turn to Hardcastle at this point and just go, I always thought he'd be lost to the bottle that once.
Will he come out of there again?
The air elemental shrugs, gets the chalks like, no one's ever tried it before.
Okay, I'm just going to take...
It genuinely feels like my purpose.
I'm going to take the bottle and just put it on our table so we can keep an eye on the fact that he comes out again.
I whisper into it and I go, I don't know if you can hear us, Mr. Ruff, but you have a good time and we will just keep a watch of your bottle for you. And I put my ear to it.
Sure.
And I think I'm going to ask Jack, because I'm intrigued and he's had a drink. Jack, what did my family frame you for? Because I know you said it was for shitting on a goose.
Wait, what?
That doesn't sound like something they'd frame someone for.
Shitting on a goose?
Yeah, you said you got kicked out of the guard because you shat on a goose.
Right. Okay.
I mean, me and Phillin might have said it, but I think then you didn't deny it. So it sounded like that's what happened.
It sounds more like something you guys would have said, and then you wouldn't have heard me disagree with you.
That is possible.
That is possible, but geese are the only animal that are naturally evil, so why would we say that or anything?
Claire, look, your family, Redlock, it's not what... The thing is, what's the point? You know, you work your whole life trying to do the right thing, trying to be good, and it's all for nothing. Ultimately, people don't care. People don't care about making good shit.
We've just rescued a whole village. Admittedly, we destroyed some of it, but they did care. They're giving us free drinks and free board, and their town is not ransacked. It does make a difference. What did they do that made you think you can't?
They made me scared.
You've not been scared? Like, I was scared when Phillin tried to communicate with a unicorn. But he did it.
I didn't know that was going to be working out, to be fair. He just looked like a nice unicorn. Anyway.
What I mean is, I never used to be scared. I used to trust in the system. I used to believe in everything working out and the right thing always happening. But ever since that, I haven't believed. I have tried my hardest to believe in good, but I just don't know if I can anymore.
You only have to believe in what you see. You've seen us do good. And a lot of mistakes, but some good.
You think it's enough? You think that's what we're doing is enough? I mean, we killed an orc.
I think we killed a gnome. The orc was just wanting us to pay for the groceries.
It doesn't matter about the minutiae. The point is, you can't do something good without doing something bad.
You can't do something good without doing something. So yeah, sometimes there will be bad consequences, but it's either that or do nothing at all.
Or maybe we should be doing nothing at all. And I turn away and I go and sit at the other end of the bar.
Don't worry about that, Miss Claire. He's just having a bad day.
There's a quiet booming sound as the green stone bottle explodes and the rough knight just appears. Rufus, you have been in that bottle for 6 days.
As I emerge from the bottle, I'm sort of shouting back at the bottle as I emerge from it.
Yep.
I'm shouting back at it. No, your mum.
Ruff's back.
Ruff is also hammered.
I just go to the bar and order him a sandwich.
Ruff, you want to try this green one? I don't know what it is, but you want to try it.
Without even thinking it, because I am that larruped, it's not even. It's just a voice of try this, and he's handing me a thing, and the arm goes out before the brain's even engaged.
Yeah.
It's instinct, and I just slap it straight down the gullet.
In his other hand,
fine.
I put a sandwich, hoping it'll have the same effect.
That's fine. The booze Matt has given you is it won't even touch the sides. Like it's not like you're the most drunk a living thing has been.
That's right. Oh, right. That's awesome.
I realise how drunk he is. I just want to quickly whisper to someone nearby who's from the town. Go, is there any tattoo parlors nearby?
And I hear him say that because I'm sort of got those drunken superpowers, and I put my hand on his shoulder and go, "Aye, you heard him. Is there a tattoo parlor nearby?"
We're gonna get each other's face tattooed on our shins.
At which point, two of the folks in the back of in the pub go, I know where this was. Yeah, I do too.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, Mr. Ruff.
Two guys with glasses, with sort of thick black rimmed glasses on. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Ruff, I'll get your face. You get mine. Miss Claire, do you want in on this?
I've got a gig here in a little bit, so I'm gonna stay.
I'm gonna be back for that gig, Mr. Ruff.
Yeah, actually, if a thought occurs, there's if you want a really good tattoo.
Oh, you do?
I know a guy in Sigil.
Yeah, let's do it in Sigil, then we can all get one.
Called what?
Fell.
Foul.
That's where you gotta go.
Fell tattoo.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't want a really good tattoo. I just want a tattoo of my friend Mr. Ruff on my shin, and I want my face on his shin.
I grab Phillin by the top of the head.
Yeah.
And literally.
Don't mind he's bald.
No, but I grab him by the top of the head, like sucker fingers.
Yeah.
Like if you were trying to lift a bowling ball without putting your fingers in the hole. Like that sort of grabbing. And I wheedle his face, and the breath of a man who has drunk nothing but strong ale for 6 days, and it was a tea, leans over into him and goes, "Let's not shirk on quality."
Matt, take 1 damage from the. Meanwhile, as this is happening, Flynn, the chap with the violin, walks into the pub. Nods at Claire, and then gestures towards the stage.
Claire follows to the stage.
Okay.
Ruff follows to the stage.
Flynn, Ruff, do you want to sing?
Too fucking right, I do.
I go behind Hardcastle's stool, which I realise is a swivel stool, and get ready to turn him slowly as the music starts.
Okay. Flynn looks at Claire. I guess, all right. Time to see if you can make anything I can play. He's changed his voice because remembered his character voice now. All right, let's see if I can make anything I can play fun.
Okay, deal. But if I do, you're going to take us on your airship to Sigil. No, to the storm place that has Halcyon in it.
Yeah, sure. Deal.
Deal.
All right, Briony. I will need from you. Oh, I should point. The two guys with glasses also get on stage. One produces a thing that looks a bit like a trumpet. The other one produces a thing that looks a bit like a guitar.
How busy is the bar, Paul?
Not crazy. It's like busy enough to be. There's an atmosphere.
Are there people mulling around outside?
A couple of folks, yeah.
I'm going to go out saying, "Oh my God, is that Sorcerer playing?"
Can I just say to anybody watching this stream, if you ever worked in stand-up comedy, the moment you get into a room and you look around, you realise there's no one there, you're like, right, I'll be outside if you need me. Oh, my
The instincts kick in.
I'll say this. So there's enough. At the minute, it's quiet. So it's like think free fringe show, no marketing budget, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, right? But yeah, there's about 20 or 30 people in the bar, not including you guys and the rest of the band. So yeah, Brian, Matt, would you make a persuasion roll, please?
I am. I'm just gonna. I don't think this is any way I can wing this, but I was hoping I could somehow, for this one time, cast mass suggestion on the town. But I don't think there'll be any way for me to.
No, how could you? No.
Yeah, but I'll go persuasion as normal, and
sure.
It's good. It's an 18 plus.
About an hour has passed, so your body hair begins to grow back rapidly.
I'm so upset about that. 21 though.
I love
21. Great.
Firing as your hair is growing.
Everyone's like, I want to see this show. I realise this is happening and go, oh my God, it must be soon. This show cured my baldness.
So about another 30 to 40 people turn up, and the place is really buzzing now. At which point, Claire, would you make a performance roll, please? Now, according to my notes, you have inspiration in your back pocket. Would you like to use it?
I don't have to. I got 23.
Oh, well then. Okay, you have. Weirdly, you have got exactly the same as what Phillin has got. So I should point out. As Phillin does that, he conjures this steel violin, and he's playing it with his sword, and it is a dirge, effectively. Like it's tonally very sad. You know how almost all Ben Folds songs are upbeat, but they're really sad underneath? Like, it's that. Like, he can't shake this thing. However, you, by playing not only drums, but also a selection of other percussion instruments that have been provided, are adding this weird upbeat counterpoint to it.
It's hard to be sad.
The other two guys on stage. Holy shit! The other two folks on stage, who are two excellent musicians in thick rimmed black spectacles, who are both incidentally called John, are playing esoterically weird.
The amazing Claire is twice the size she normally is.
She is. She's twice the size of her normal size.
I mean, I'm not saying she is a giant, but yeah.
I don't know what height it was normally.
And so, sure enough, if only because the chat suggested it earlier on and some other people alluded to it, what this turns into is a sort of initial sort of loose jam session as just as Ruff takes the stage, and I would love a performance check from Ruff, please. So you can have advantage on this.
Inspiration for that.
You get bardic inspiration for this, and you can have advantage on it because of the quality of the music you're singing behind. But you are mystically aware of the correct lyrics as you launch into The Devil Went Down to Sigil.
Oh, nice. As this starts, I turn Jack's stool towards it, and I'm going to use prestidigitation to make I can't say it. None of us can, but
no, I can't either.
To make like a really nice sort of soft halo effect round Claire, just to really pull focus towards it. I'm also off the back of that going to go into the crowd and use my golden pants for you.
Is it a D6?
On the stage.
I'll be up there.
Is it a D6 I get to
make a performance check with advantage to dance.
But with
have dancing trousers, Paul.
With bardic inspiration, do I have? Is it a D6 that I add?
D8.
Oh, a D8.
It's a D8 now.
Whoa.
I got 18 with my +3.
Okay.
And Rufus?
can give Rufus any bardic inspiration during the fight, but during a musical number.
Yeah.
Hold it back for when you need it.
16.
16. Okay, cool. It comes out a little bit raw, but it still works. It's got actually. I'll say this: your singing of this, despite Ruff's voice, has a little more Primus about it than anyone else would expect. If anyone's familiar with 90s rock band Primus, but yeah, and then sure enough, yeah. But you get into this, and there's no microphone or anything. You're just bellowing. And then in front of you, a little bit of space is cleared, and Phillin is, for want of better terminology, breakdancing his way through the narrative of this song. It's also sort of everyone in the, because it's a song, a little narrative piece. Basically, everyone in the piece everyone involved in this starts to take on sort of aspect of the characters in it, in like a legitimate, illusory way. So what happens is Flynn starts to look like the kid in the song. Phillin starts to take on the aspect of the devil as he's taking on that. The rest of the band also starts to look like a band of demons. And sure enough, the violin in his hand starts to turn gold. And this continues on into the night.
I was going to say, I'm going to cast minor illusion, so to start a sound applause at the back.
You don't need to. It's happening.
Oh, great.
What happens is, go on, Rufus.
No, I just want to know, has anybody got like persuasion or anything where they could roll that, even though it starts off with that like sad melody, that as it picks up and as it gets going, he just like, because that's the whole point of the devil went down to Georgia, right? Is like the devil thinks he's in charge, but it becomes more than that. Like,
can I roll persuasion on it? On him?
As the show is going on, there is also a distinct, and everyone notices this, but no one flees. There's a sort of torrent of like a little tower of, what's the word I'm looking for? A pillar of smoke. It bursts out of the floor, and where that was is a fairly gaunt, pale gentleman wearing evening wear, just joining in and clapping along with this, who unabashedly has little horns sticking out the top of his head, and a sort of red tone to his skin, and he's just like he's like the devil from a back of a pack of cards.
Yeah. Is there also in the back somewhere the most Dave Grohl you've ever seen?
Not that kind of devil, but that's basically what you're at.
Paul, I rolled 18 on persuasion to try and get our Flynn to play, like to change his music so it's happy. So he is also playing happy, not just us.
No, so what happens is, I'll let that ride. He can't, because of the nature of his curse, but the curse is, for the purposes of this gig, overridden. So he's able to, and he is losing it. He's joyous. Like, he's crying tears of happiness as he plays. And he's going back and forth. He's like, you have the spotlight at different points. He's got the spotlight. He's pulling out all the stops. He's also nodding towards this devil that's appeared, and there's a very clear, like, they know each other and they're mates vibe. And then basically this continues for a period of about, it's like 3 hours plus an encore.
Paul?
Yes?
What do I roll for hour 2? This gig goes punk as fuck.
Yeah, I want a hard cut and Hardcastle with his shirt off, just bellowing.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? I'd like Richard. Would you do me a favour? Would you make a performance check for me on behalf of the Reverend with advantage?
Don't roll Hardcastle. Come on.
Come on, you can do it. Can I give him bardic inspiration for this?
You can. You absolutely can.
Use your inspiration, whatever you need.
This is a good use of bardic inspiration.
I feel like what happens here is like the Rev sees Claire having brought this happiness and this good to this guy who was cursed to only play sad songs, and he like there's something deep within him which makes him stand up off his stool, approach the stage, look for the only instrument he feels comfortable playing. Is there a triangle?
Well, I'll tell you, something happens as you walk towards the stage. When you get about 20 foot, when you get within about 20 foot of the center of the gig, something happens to the Reverend. One is your alignment switches back to good, but it becomes less lawful for a brief period of time. And there is what did you get on that roll, by the way?
11 with help.
Great. At which point, something happens. Flynn starts playing a riff over and over again. The band get hold of it, but it becomes evident. And Briony, you feel this. Rufus feels this. Everyone feels this, that you're not 100% in control of what you're doing, but it's fine. The gig is playing you at this point, as the Reverend Hardcore stands in front of the crowd in this little space that Phillin's cleared. This riff is playing, and just the Reverend Hardcore starts just feeling all of his history, the sense of betrayal at Baldur's Gate, the sense of frustration at not being able to do what he's always tried to do, and the sense of being an outsider erupts as he turns to the crowd and screams the phrase, "I can't stand it. I know you planned it," and launches into sabotage.
Dun, 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 dun.
At which point, the gig, via Beastie Boys riffs,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
it verges off into sort of Rage Against the Machine and then does get punk as fuck. But yeah, the Reverend is now sort of like, how do I put this? Aggressively like Rage Against the Machine, screaming his frustrations into the ether. And the audience is loving it. It does become a bit of a mosh pit. And I won't lie, Ruff is asked to remove his armour after about 5 minutes. But yeah, and sure enough, you know what? I think that's a perfect point. As the party rocks out, that is a perfect point to end this episode. As the party covers Beastie Boys hits with obviously some words changed to feature D&D elements. But it seems entirely appropriate. As Claire gets to star in a gig, Phillin gets to dance with a lizard. Ruff gets to drink heavily while throwing beer mugs at the ceiling, and Reverend Hardcore gets to scream his frustrations rhythmically into the night. But then I think that is a perfectly good end point for tonight's session.
Like any good night, I don't want it to end.
Well, look, I'll say this: Flynn certainly, like a brief gap in the gig. Flynn goes, "All right, then tomorrow, you guys rest up tonight. Tomorrow we'll take my little airship through the Godstorm, and we'll see if we can get rescue Halcyon."
Oh, can I just?
And I say, "Fuck you! I won't do what you told me."
In Hardcastle's voice, can I please just hear you say, like, "I can't stand it. I know you planned it. I'm fresh out of Baldur's Gate."
And this is how he would have performed it as well. "I can't stand it. I know you planned it. I'm fresh out of Baldur's Gate."
Yeah. Oh, that's all I needed. That's all I
Lovely
needed.
stuff.
And that's all of episode 15. Fun fact, the bit at the end with the players all playing music in a bar and having a fun time is, I think, most often cited by the players as one of their favourite moments of characterisation in the show. And I think a lot of the audience really liked it as well when it went out live. You can see that reflected in the chat, but it's certainly one of the fondest memories of the players, and mine as well. I don't know why I'm keeping myself out of that group. But there you go, that was that. There is a lot more fun, weird stuff coming up. I really get to let loose with some dumb, high-octane nonsense in the next couple of sessions as we explore more of the planes. And next week, I believe we're off to the Palace of Gravy, a stupidly named thing I wrote. So look forward to that. That episode will be up imminently. Please like and subscribe, because you have to say that. We'll be back in a couple of days. Stay safe until then, and we'll see you next time. Bye.